Here, back at it again with another video. If you watched my previous video, thank you so much. Forewarning, I'm not by any means a beauty person. I wear makeup, yes, more recently than not, but I will tell you right now, most of my makeup comes from my mom, where she says, oh, you can use this, or you can put this on and it'll do this, and then I just take her word for it. The first thing I'm going to start with is Bare Minerals Primetime Primer. And this one I've realized is actually really good compared to the Ulta Beauty Primer that I had before, the Flawless Primer. I do like this one because it is a tint of green and it goes on clear, but because I have so many acne scars and stuff like that, I realize like the green does help neutralize a lot of the redness. But otherwise, my makeup doesn't stay on as long as when I use this primer. It just works so much better. I think it's much lighter, and I think Bare Minerals is just good for my skin. I think it's made for sensitive skin, so I've just been using that as my go-to. And then I move on to It CC Plus Cream, color correcting full coverage cream and anti-aging hydrating serum, SPF 50s, right? So I don't want to say I've always been active, and I think that's where I differentiate myself from other fitness people on YouTube is I played sports, and I would say that I was decent at them. I played them for a long time. Like, for example, soccer I played since middle school, and then I dabbled in a little bit of tennis in high school, but I was never the best. Wasn't very like health conscious then, so everything that I ate kind of kept the weight on me. I've always been really chunky. I would say I started getting really interested in it when I was dating a guy who, I wouldn't say did weightlifting, but he like was really interested in the history of it and would give me tips. And I will tell you now, I despise the gym for a really long time, and sometimes I still do depending on where I go, but it was just really awkward. I didn't know what to do with my body. I didn't feel like I belonged. Like I was playing, like I kept playing in my head that negative voice where it's like, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna hurt yourself, or like people are gonna film you and make fun of you, you know, like all those failed YouTube videos. I didn't start getting more into the world of fitness and like doing supersets and doing deadlifts and squats and incorporating a lot of weightlifting into my into a weekly program until I would say sophomore year of college. And at that point in my life, I wasn't chunky, and I was a pre-med student. I didn't really want to do pre-med. I think I just did it because I knew all my friends back home were talking about like, yeah, that's what they want to do. And I mean, I was decent at it. I wasn't the worst. I think I was too wrapped up in like the social aspects of school that I just didn't really commit as much into the program as I wish I did. And I just kind of coasted, and I got sick a lot during my freshman year because I'd stay all night studying, and then I'd like try and go out during the weekends and then try and recover. And you know, you can only do so much. You know the triangle where it's like you either get enough sleep or enough study time, you get good grades, or you have a social life. Yeah, that was definitely not in balance. Campus on my own and going grocery shopping on my own and not eating cafeteria food, I think I started becoming more conscious about the fact that I had full control over what I could eat. Not to say that I didn't freshman year, but I was under a food plan that I couldn't even finish, and they wouldn't give you a refund on. So I started to do more research on the impacts of food and consistent exercise. And my goals for fitness were a lot different after my freshman year. I think I wanted to be stronger, and I started to embrace the body that I had, which was never petite. And it became a lot more fun and enjoyable, right? Because at that point, I wasn't with that boyfriend anymore. And everything I did from that point on, I was like, it's for me. Like, my decision to go to the gym is not to impress him or to have something in common with him, which you should never do, by the way. Never be with someone just because, you feel like, oh, I can get into that, or like, we have that in common, right? I mean, it's great if you do have something naturally in common, but you should never be with someone without knowing what you like and being honest with yourself if it's something you really like to do. So anyways, I realized that fitness was something that I enjoyed without him. It wasn't because he told me to go to the gym. I really did like the aspect of having something that I had full control over with my body. I was able to go, if I wanted to go run, I can go run and see how far I can run. If I wanted to go lift weights, I can see how much weight I've improved since the beginning. So once I went over that initial hump of like getting over being by myself at the gym, no one's watching you at the gym. They may be, but no one's watching you to make fun of you. And if they are, then they're total dickheads, and you shouldn't care what they think anyways. That's neither here nor there. So I haven't done anything with my face. There was that period of time where it was like a big thing for people to come out with their YouTube page and like share their journeys. And I always thought like, that's really cool. And I think everyone has a very interesting journey. It's very unique. But what I noticed was all the girls I followed had some kind of like cheerleading background or gymnastics background. And I noticed that they all like were petite in the sense of like they were never overweight in their life, or on the opposite end, they were overweight for most of their life and they just they lost all that weight, which congratulations to them. That's awesome, right? Like, I think that's great, and I think there should be YouTubers that do that. But there's also the happy medium of, okay, it looks really sticky. I'm not saying that there aren't other people like me out there on YouTube. I'm not saying I'm the first for anything like that, but I definitely feel like there needs to be more people who are just very honest with themselves and who advocate for self-love, and there's never going to be enough of that until everyone feels that way. Does that make sense? Until it's normalized. The idea of like women not feeling like they're good enough based on like European standards that they see in magazines, or because someone said something like, oh, you lost so much weight, you look so good. I want people to know that you do not work for a new body. Like, based on an Instagram account that I follow, Masters of Love, it's like your body has always been your body, and it will always be your body before, after you have kids, before, after you lose weight. And the mental health aspect of losing and gaining weight and being like really skinny to, really chunky, and all those like psychological things that you go through, they don't change just because your body changes. I think the exercise and everything is really good just for you to be able to like be in control of something that is all for you, Like, you should never want to lose weight or like get healthy based on someone else's opinion, based on what someone else says. Like, you should want to do it for yourself, and that should be with anything. And I think it's good to keep me accountable on my own journey, because I'm definitely not like the most physically fit that I've ever been, but I'm also, I think, a lot more grounded in what I like to do, and when I feel bored with something, I'll change it up. And to be honest, I don't think people talk about that enough. They talk about that one moment where it's like, I changed my life and this is what I did. But in reality, you never just stick to one thing when you change. Like, that one thing will not work forever. One workout, even if you practice it for years and years and years, will eventually your body will adjust and get used to that and maintain it, and you won't see rapid results anymore. So I think sharing the journey of like trying new things and doing these detox December challenges and things like that, it give other people ideas on where they can start and have like that community with me. At least, like, I will be your community if needed, as your wellness coach, as a friend. Like, I will be here for you, and whichever you want to work on, whether it's just being more aware of what you eat, or you know, what workouts you want to try, or even just like better positive energy, like building that positive energy. Like, I don't have all the answers. I'm not certified to do any of it, to be honest. But at the same time, sometimes it's a lot easier to do it with someone, right? To just jump in and try something new when someone is just 100% on your side. Like, okay, let's just do it and try it and see if it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so now that I have built that confidence, I want other people to, like, I want to share that with other people. I definitely take care of yourself, but welcome good company. That was my rant for the morning. It's Monday. So this is Crown Brush. It reminds me of my Morph palette. I did have a Morph palette for most of college, but I recently had to get rid of it because it was just really old. It was really old. Anyways, so I'm gonna go with, I always imagine myself going for something blue or purple, but in realities, I always go for like a taupe. I'm not that adventurous with my makeup. So, and there is another video. I decided that I'm not just gonna do the get ready with me journey video. I'm also going to work on a grocery haul, and I have a pork chop recipe for you guys. For the people that follow my Instagram page, you will probably have guessed what the next Detox December week is. It is biting nails, or, I mean, I don't know if you guessed that, but that's what it is. And AJ is also participating in this one, but it's really hard for us. Like, this is probably the hardest challenge out of all 3 weeks, because we bite our nails when we're bored, we bite our nails when we're stressed, we bite our nails when just mindlessly. So I decided that the best way to keep track of this and to, you know, just keep accountable is he's gonna have a jar and I'm gonna have a jar, and every time he bites his nails, he has to put a quarter in. Every time I bite my nails or put my nails in my mouth, I have to put a quarter in. And just kind of being the self-accountability game. Like, he's probably biting his nails out there right now. Or maybe not. I should have positive, you know, vibes and just send him a text telling him not to. But he's already have seven quarters in it, or at least mentally. And I'm gonna put out the jars and probably put it on my Instagram. But yeah, I'm gonna finish getting ready. I don't care. I don't think you guys really care what I do at this point in regards to like my get ready with me, because again, I'm not a beauty guru. Oh, down my nose, on the tip, on the chin. Yeah. I forgot my eyebrows. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to know why I started this whole thing. I know I don't have that many videos up, and I know they're not always the best of qualities, but it's my creative outlet, and it's been really enjoyable to have people like hit me up and just say like, oh, this is really cool, or like, I really enjoyed like this post, it's very inspirational. And you know, a lot of you guys are my friends out in your life, so I really appreciate that. If you want to hear about the next Detox December video, please hit the bell below, and I will see you guys soon. Love you guys. Bye.